I'm not gonna bore everybody. I was thinking about going on here and doing a live and bring up some of. I decided, you know what? I'm gonna do a doc drop of what Matt Hoffman and EMSI. I didn't even bother to getting to me and EMSI's Matt Hoffman's Dropbox. I haven't even got into that. But the last few wall posts of my community wall posts is going to leave a lot of you stunned, disgusted, and jaws hanging loose, open. Your mouth's going to hit the floor. I decided, you know what? When I have Mike Osbrook, Amy, others trying to use my work product, saying it's their digging, their work. Mike Osbrook, Christine Salazar, Erica Morse, Jason K. Jansen, they weren't tasked until I came forward. It was me giving up Todd Click and Greg Ferenczi, who I worked with back in 2018 on the second Odin report. My intel back into my Baffy FBI informant files, being involved with the first Odin report that started days after Karina McClurkin's case. I let it be known to the FBI, Joint Terrorism Task Force, and my agent, Michael Curtis, over me as a handler over me and my Baffy informant files. I let it be known on Gabe Ellis, everybody involved in Karina McClurkin's missing and murdered case, including her trafficking case where Gabe Ellis trafficked up to where she was murdered by a Kokomo Fire Department firefighter, Ricky Miles, that her mom named. I've got that in writ as well as audio and video that I supplied to Michael Curtis and the FBI, where she left Flint Farmer's house alive. Marlena even said it. Jerry McClurkin said that. How they know it? Because Gabriel Ellis and others contacted Marlena Smith to come get her cell phone, take it toward the crime scene, and grab her glasses from the crime scene. She told me details of that crime scene, where it was, who was involved. Ain't that right, Marlena? Well, not only did I get that, the FBI got that. I was told for the first year on more than one missing and murdered case that was involving known FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force domestic terrorism suspects and individuals already involved in more than one missing and murdered case back to Karina McClurkin that is sitting for the first year, 1 week, until I was told to go talk to KPD. That sits on my record and other missing and murdered cases that they went on to target and cause terrorist actions upon innocent children like Delphi, Flora, Logansport Fires, Daniel Height, Jeremy Patterson. Jeremy Patterson had a FBI known suspect involved in his case, and Alan Tinker involved in Karina McClurkin's case. This sits in my federal records. He was killed. Why? Because Alan Tinker and that cartel couldn't afford him coming forward with intel on Alan Tinker being involved in Karina's, so Jeremy Patterson had to get killed, just like Nicole Bowen. But when you have elected officials, rank and file law enforcement, sitting friends with cartel dealers, kingpins, ones in and around multiple missing and murder cases, friends with the killers, and they're sitting friends with Sophia Rossi, Brad Rossi, his wife, their family and friends, Mark Lehman, two Kokomo long living and working in Kokomo for years, having their kids and their families growing up living in Kokomo. Bet you didn't know that. Well, I bet you didn't know where Brandon Scott Hole, the mass shooter, FedEx mass shooter, his friends and family are sitting friends and family. It's the same names you'll see back to Brad Rossi, his family, Karina's case, the individuals around her case. And then you have cases like Nicole Bowen. Garrett Kurtz admitted. Why did Ashley Garth and Garrett Kurtz and the ones involved with him help kill Nicole Bowen? Because she was going to roll on the cartel operation he was involved with. It wasn't just that, she had information. And if you talk to her mother and her aunt, you would know she had information. And what information she was talking to her family when it comes to Delphi, and she was going to talk. They couldn't afford that, just like Mark and Brad made sure to silence Andrew Baldwin when he was going to speak up on the corruption and the cartel involved in Delphi. Oh, Judge Gall, there's no nexus to other missing and murdered crimes. You got practicing Odinists like Gabriel Ellis, Kyle Stacy, all the way back to 2014, 2015, openly parading it. How about Nicole Bowens? Her case, Christopher Mathis, the runes on his neck, on his chest. How about you take a time and look back on his mugshot? What's that? Runes on his chest. Imagine that. The same mindset involved in missing and murdered cases, more than one. But I wanted to do a document drop of going, look, you've got individuals like Amy, case by case, call me a Danny Brasco. I was never an FBI informant. Do you realize the laws and violations of saying you're a informant and you're not a informant? It's just like Julie Melvin, Shelley Collins, meeting and hanging out with Carrie Timmons, her kids, in Delphi meetings when she's coming up and visiting Delphi, and then running off and giving everything she knew and was telling the girls' rule chat, Julie Melvin, Tina Riddell, Richard Plunkett, they're all members of that girls' rules chat. And you see why I don't trust these AK girls' rule fucking bullshit. Because I've shown where Linda Miller, her family wanted me dead. Why? Because I was going to talk. There has been missing and murdered within my own family. Erin Unger and her Delphi friend JP, the same JP that was a person of interest for years and was AK cleared. They knew details down to I was going to be slit, tortured, and left in puddles, just like those two Delphi girls that I keep talking to FBI and ISP and the law enforcement involved If I keep talking, I'm going to end up like those two little girls. If I so much as shared, even told law enforcement, Erin Unger would hunt me down and kill me herself. And within 24 hours of one of her last threats, take that as a joke if you so wish. You know what's disgusting? 72 hours, then to less than 24 hours after Aaron Unger's threats that the cartel will kill me and my family, look up Sharman Pearson. Miss, his murder case, December 23rd, 2020, Kokomo, Indiana. 7 individuals that were arrested and charged, going back to the same cartel that put a murder hit on my immediate second cousin, my first cousin, down to a toddler as it sits right now. Those 7 that were arrested, many of them just got probation. They're walking free for being involved with a murder. So, Amy, the rest of you saying I have nothing, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just mentally ill. I'm a mental fucking retard. Has your family been killed by these cocksuckers? My cousin was a murder hit, intended victim. Her boyfriend lost his life 72 hours, not even 24 hours after I was given threats that the cartel will kill me and my family if I chose to keep talking to law enforcement. They chose to talk on their ex boyfriend doing a drive by murder. And for talking to law enforcement, she had a cartel hit put on her that cost her the life of her boyfriend. There's questions on that case why I've even brought up, and I asked my own family. So you mean to tell me a known murderer that did a drive-by, my first cousin let her daughter, let this piece of shit fucking killer that she knew was involved with a drive-by stay the night with an underage daughter and toddler son of hers living with them, knowing who and what he was? You let him come spend the night? And that's when the intended murder hit was supposed to happen at my cousin's, my first cousin's immediate family's house was where the murder hit was supposed to take. So by all means, you can hide the cartel, your friends like Tony Klein. Ain't that right, Rick Snay? But when he's going friends and his friends, going back to one of the Indiana's worst mass shootings, their friends, Tony Klein's sitting right there with many of Brandon Scott Hole, his friends. And this I showed. You may want to take the time and look at my community wall posts and what I've been saying from get the day one. The Frank's memo, how it came about, the sons of Odin, all that the Erica and everybody claims that it's their work product. They know everything. You don't know how dangerous these motherfuckers are. Well, it's not a laughing matter, criminality. CJ, Greeno being allowed on your platform, bringing up my 2018 video inside KPD on how my PTSD I got from being a child rape and molested victim from the age of 5 and 9. My PTSD makes me mentally ill. Hell, for the last 3 years, you were letting content creators involved with the cartel, their friends and family, wanting my family dead, giving them a platform like Julie Melvin, her family, all cartel, all money laundering. Derek Sherman, his friends, going back friends with multiple killers and nothing to see there, just like Sophia Rossi, Mark Lehman, Brad Rossi, and their family. They lived and worked in Kokomo for years. They're friends with third party suspects, but nothing to see there. Remember, I'm just a mental fucking retard. But Julie Melvin, her friends in that girls' rule chat, giving Megan Allen everything she needs. Tina Riddell was an active member in these chats and being praised, giving everything her and her family need to know to walk. Julie Melvin and her friends made sure, just like Cody Patty, and that Patty's got everything Even to this day, anything Julie gets is going to the Patties and that cartel, just like Jenny Crew, the Mossholder family, friends of multiple killers, but nothing to see there. And I had recorded conversations where Jenny Crim's, oh, he's just mentally ill. He just wanted 10 minutes of fame. But yet your own family and friends want me and my family dead. And remember, I'm just a mental fucking retard for speaking up and showing the light where it needs to go. You, as a true crime community, have been used. The defense team has been used. And I begged Matthew and Andy, I'll talk to you. I trust you with my life, but whatever I give to you, do not give to Brad. The moment I found out that they were giving shit to Brad, I was begging them, don't give it. Why? The Good Old Boys Club. Matthew Elkins, Matthew Fouts, longtime friends with Mark Lehman and Brad Rossi and their families. Just like Keegan Klein, Brad Holder, the third party suspects, ineffective counsel, conflicts of interest back to third parties, but yet they recuse themselves and it's a man sitting behind bars. KPD attacked me openly on Karina McClurkin's case, even though they found out who and what I was federally, just like Todd Click. 2018, I was working with Greg Ferenczi and Todd Click. Greg Ferenczi was targeted and killed by a militia member belonging to the same militia that targeted and killed multiple others that Brad and Shane Meehan remembers of. I've been far from nuts. It's not me that didn't want you to see the light and show the right directions. They were paying donations to content creators and befriending content creators, linking them information to give them content, donations, and money, as long as they push their fake stories and fake narratives away from them and their families for years now, using the true crime community, these content creators, helping the cartel family and friends of more than one killer get everything they need to keep them and their families walking free. These same content creators giving platforms and friendships and giving individuals like Greeno, the same Greeno which saying, remember, like I said, my community wall post, his messages with me, people are already talking. They want to kill you for being a snitch. By all means, keep going. You've been warned. His cartel dealing friends in Kokomo. He never lived in Delphi. He lived for a short time after Delphi in Delphi. He was living in Kokomo with Mike Cat, right outside of Kokomo. For years, he was living in Kokomo at the time of Delphi. Not Delphi. But the information that Todd Click, he had to come forward to me. It was me giving Brad, not Brad, but Matt and Andy, Greg Ferenczi and Todd Click's names on the two officers I worked with on the second Odin report, but the first Odin report was never even mentioned. The cartel, the corruption was refused to hit. Why? I just showed a couple names back to Sophia Rossi, Mark Lehman. I get every friends list, every friend, and everybody's left the criminal network analysis, the social media network analysis, nothing to see here. He's just a fucking mental retard. Well, when they're sitting friends and family of third party suspects, nothing to see there. Remember, I'm just a fucking mental retard. Ain't that right?